Welcome back to Papa Z's Bees. We're going to inspect the kitchen hive this week and see if we can find any evidence of swarm cells or whatever. So here we go. Okay, here we go. Today we're just going to do a normal inspection on this hive. It hasn't been inspected in a while. We've had some good different weather, but today started out cool, but it's really a nice sunshiny day. So we're going to give it a whirl and see what happens, see what it looks like in here. Make sure these girls aren't getting ready to swarm. Big old drone up there, kind of on the dead side. Here's another drone. You can see the drone because he's got eyes almost meet at the back, and he's big-bodied. And good news for somebody wanting to play with a bee, drones don't have stingers, so they won't sting. It's not quite heavy yet, so they're still not working it a lot. See all the drones. There's 3 drones right there on the top. They're waiting for somebody to feed them. Propolis, which is the stuff they use to glue the frames together, is pretty strong. Goodness. Plus it's heavy. Yeah. Can you see this? It's not good because so today what we're going to look for basically is to make sure that they don't have swarm cells, but they're not ready to go out and swarm. So you can see this burr comb here, they've got honey in it. Bees are trying to clean that up. So we'll just go through a few of these. And may not go through all of them, but we'll go through a lot of them. See a lot of cap brood here. This is a frame that they're still trying to get all drawn out, so not a lot there. There's more brood over here. I don't know if you can see it right here, but there's a bee emerging. She's digging her way out. Another one up here. That looks like they're getting ready to come out and help the workforce. Same thing here, lots of good brood. So again, we know we've got a queen. Honey across the top, which is good because that's what they'll feed the young with. Yeah, there's larvae down in here, so again, we know we've got a good laying queen. Most of these are broken loose because of the fact they were hung onto the super above them. Lots of nectar down here. As always, I would like to find the queen, but if we don't, it's not a big deal. These edge frames, these few on the edge here like this, are typically where they'll just put stores, and the further we get this way is where we'll find more brood. There's lots and lots of bees in here, which is what you like to see, because we've got the nectar flow going. More capped brood, which is good. Just going to look for larvae and or eggs. There's larvae. Oh, larvae looks like it's about ready to get capped. Make sure there's not, I don't see the queen over here. She was marked last year, but she was erroneously marked with a blue dot. So if they haven't cleaned that off or they haven't superseded her, then we should be able to see see her. More, as I would expect, the further we go this way, the more we're going to see larvae, and pretty much full of larvae here, and as well as some capped brood. Typically the queen's gonna, as you pull frames out, she's gonna move over towards that way to get away from you, because she just doesn't, as I've said before, the queens don't like the light, so she'll hide from you. You can see pollen on this bee right here. Lots of good capped brood. So again, this hive's in really good shape. More pollen, and they'll put that pollen in these cells around the outside because that's where they feed the young. While I would like to find the queen, it's not nearly as important here as it was yesterday with what we were doing. And the smoke, if you don't know, the smoke doesn't harm them. What it does, it basically says, hey, I'm coming in, and the best thing you can do is move on down. A lot of times it kind of mimics what they would have in the wild if a forest fire were to occur. More brood. Some pollen over here. Some white pollen looks like that's interesting. I've seen some orange pollen. There's more of the white. So we have some drone brood up there, but some good some good brood pattern. So let me look a little bit for the queen. And another thing I'm not seeing any swarm cells. So that looks like they're not ready to even think about swarming. Check this last frame because I really would like to see her if I can. This was a foundationless frame, which means it did not have any plastic in it when we put it together, so I can't do a lot of extra turning like you would like to normally do with a frame, because if you do, the wax might fall out because it's only steadied in there by the bee, what the bees have done. So we'll look for her again, but again, I'm not expecting to see her at this point. You can see it's kind of leaning in right here at the bottom because it's not attached well on the side. So, okay, don't see her. No, she's in here, which is the important thing. And now we'll just put it back together and let them get back to work. No swarm cells anywhere, which is a good thing to have, to see, or not to see, I should say. These girls are really, really tame. You notice I don't have a full bee suit on. I've got just a shirt and a mask. Because even, I don't want to take a chance of letting one sting my face, because I have had that happen and that does not feel good. So if they want to sting my arm or whatever, that's okay. But they normally won't sting because unless you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Of course, I am doing right now. I'm inside here messing with them. So we'll continue on. I don't know if you can look down inside here and see inside down towards the floor. You can see the slatted rack there. That keeps the distance from the bottom of the landing board up to the bottom of the frames more full. And one of the things it does by using the slatted rack, it allows the bees to feel comfortable building comb all the way down to the bottom. Whereas typically without a slatted rack in there or some way to bring them down, they may only go that far from the bottom, and so you have some wasted space. Now here's where you have to be careful, because once you have bees like this in the last frame that you put in or the first frame that you take out, it's real possible that you could roll more bees because it's so tight. So that's why I pull them out and put them over in this rack, so I'll have more room with less of a danger of harming any bees. Again, I wish I had found the queen, but I didn't. So we know, again, because we saw larvae and we saw capped brood, we know there has been, there's been a queen in there in the recent past. This fur comb, because as you saw earlier, it made it real difficult to separate the frames. Yeah, probably need to clean some of this off. Yeah, this is what we run into. This whole area is full of capped honey. Now this whole box up here is their refrigerator, their pantry. We won't use any of this honey. We'll leave that for them for this winter, and in the time of dearth, which we will have coming dearth here before too long. Dearth just means there's no nectar, there's no flowers out there to produce nectar. This is the Flow Super here. I have seen at times, I've seen honey in here, but a lot of times they'll eat that. They'll eat the first honey the last honey they use. They'll get it out. You see bees down here that are preparing the frames and so on. So we're in good shape on this hive. So, I don't know if you want to look at this, come over here and look at the bees on the side of the hive over here. They kind of hang out there when there's problems or issues or whatever, or when it's hot. Well, there you have it. A good inspection, lots and lots of bees, honey in their box. They're starting to fill up the super after we've had a lot of rain, so it's going to be slow there. But we did not see any swarm cells, so at least at this point, for a couple of weeks at least, we don't have to worry about them swarming. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Join us next time. We appreciate it.